In just a few short weeks, we will be entering one of the best times of year to be an Etsy seller, Q4. I've been through many Q4s as both a handmade and print-on-demand seller, and without a doubt, those last 3 months of the year are where retail sales dramatically increase, and for many businesses, makes up more than 50% of their total annual revenue. In today's video, I want to walk you through 5 things that you can do right now to start preparing your shop. First though, let's talk about why now. After all, it's still the middle of August and spooky season and Christmas are still months away. Remember though, Etsy's algorithm can take a little time. An organic rank for your listings in your shop do not happen overnight. We want to give our listings time to start getting views and favorites, and ideally even sales and reviews before we get closer to the peak shopping season. And if you're wondering if it's too early, several sellers in my private membership group are already seeing sales on Christmas items, and all of the major Q4 holidays are starting to trend in Etsy searches. In fact, in the last Power Hour call I did in my group, we kicked off the Q4 season by taking a deeper dive on where to focus right now in our shops, along with some top products and design trends to start designing for right now. All that to say, do not underestimate early shoppers. Which brings me to you, my friend. What should you be doing right now? Number 1, stay focused on building your shop. That should be your number 1 priority right now. If you've been waiting to start your shop because you're not sure if your designs are good enough, or you're worried that you won't know what to do, or you're waiting until you have a certain number of designs ready to go, guess what? Customers can't buy something that isn't listed. It's time to get off the sidelines and start taking action. Lean into the uncertainty and get comfortable with being a beginner. You will not be an expert right away. Nobody is. And it may take some time to find your rhythm. But the more you do it, the more you spend time practicing your skills, the better you will get. Practice makes progress. Or perhaps you've started a shop, but you feel like it's crickets right now, or that you don't have a sense of direction just yet. You will get there. Take a look at your existing listings on where you are starting to see visits and favorites. These are signs that people are not only finding your listings, but they like something about them. Start scaling those concepts out further. Experiment with using a similar design style across adjacent niches. And if you have proven designs that have sold, experiment with them on complementary products. Give yourself a listing goal so that you can maintain consistency. Can you get in 5 listings a day or even 10 listings in a week? These are short-term actions and commitments that are intended to bring long-term results. Number 2, spend time researching trends and demand. This is foundational and does not change going into Q4. On Etsy, look for not only bestseller badges, but more importantly, popular now badges, as well as little red magic words inside the listing itself that indicate a listing is in multiple carts or that it's in demand with recent sales. These are clues of active demand. You won't find this information anywhere else other than Etsy because Etsy is the sole source of truth and data when it comes to sales and search information. I like to run these types of searches with broad keywords like mom gifts or women's sweatshirts. These are huge niches, but trends and demand often pop up here first, meaning if you can spot demand here, there's a good chance you can bring it into more specific niches to reach a more specific ideal buyer instead of getting lost in the crowd. Study these designs and listings. Look at the thumbnail. Think about what's unique or special about them. What is making them in demand? The more you pay attention to these clues, the better you'll get at spotting and identifying them. You can then take these concepts and apply something to a different niche or create a unique holiday variation of it. To be clear, We are not copying another store or design. Stealing someone else's design is never okay and is a total waste of time because you will never be able to compete with their ranking, especially if that listing is already doing well. But we can study it and we can think about ways to create something different that will still have demand using various elements from across different types of listings and designs that are in demand. Set a goal to spend even just 15 to 20 minutes a day doing this, what I call discovery scrolling, searching through Etsy, taking a look even at Pinterest for inspiration for outfits, or checking out trendy or niche related websites to see what's new so you can scope out your target audience to get your creative ideas flowing. For example, if you're designing for outdoor enthusiasts, check out sites like Eddie Bauer or REI and look at bestsellers to see what your audience is most interested in. Or on trendy sites like Anthropologie, look at the new arrivals section for graphic t-shirts to see the latest trends and color palettes that are starting to hit the market. As you're doing these searches, start a trend board. I like to use Canva whiteboards for this because you can grab a screenshot, drop it into a whiteboard or any other design area that's large enough to hold multiple, and then even rearrange it so you can capture those color palettes, you can capture those different font styles, you can capture those different design styles. And then when you're ready to sit down and design, you've got some different elements and inspiration to pull from to create your own unique new designs. Number 3, review the variations that you offer on your products. If you have designs that are typically on, for example, white or black sweatshirts, see if they will also work on sand or military green, which typically do really well during Q4. Then either duplicate an existing listing or swap out the first photo on an existing listing to highlight these popular colors that are available. Or perhaps you have a listing that is getting sales like a mug. Experiment with it on a tote bag or other complementary product that makes sense for that design and the ideal buyer, like I mentioned earlier. One of the reasons that I continue to recommend Printify is that they have a full catalog of product options that will allow you to add variety to your shop. For example, I frequently start a design on either a Gildan 18,000 or a Comfort Colors 1717 t-shirt. If I'm feeling super confident on the design, I might start it on both. Then, similar to what I mentioned earlier, once I start to get some favorites and then a sale, I explore other ways to leverage this winning design that is now proven to work in the marketplace. Some of my go-tos are tote bags, and I specifically love the ones from Duplium, as well as mugs, and my go-to for those are from Spoke. Again, all of which are part of the Printify catalog. The beauty of Printify is that since they have a network of providers, there are many products where I can have a backup available for the holidays, especially with popular gifting products like apparel and mugs. If you haven't explored Printify yet, I'll leave a coupon code below so that you can try their Printify Premium discount program free for 30 days. But in this process, remember, don't go crazy with it and add your design to like 50 products. There is such a thing as excessive, and you don't want your shop to look like a garage sale blew up in it. But strategically scaling your designs and products once you know that there's demand for them can help you expand on what is already working and allow you to then drive even more traffic by having additional variations and options available. Speaking of Printify, I am so excited to share that I will be side by side with some of the biggest names in print on demand at this year's Amplified event. Last year, more than 30,000 people tuned in to this exciting online event, and this year will be bigger and better than ever. Gaining access to the full experience, including the ability to engage in chats with speakers like me, is normally $5, but when you use my code, you will get a 100% discount and be able to participate completely free. I've got the link below along with my code, so be sure to sign up, and I can't wait to see you there. Now, let's get back to our action list. Number 4, do a mini self-audit of your shop. Do you need to clear out some listings that simply aren't working so that you can focus on optimizing better listings and fill your shop with better things? For example, if you have listings that have renewed more than 4 times but have not ever sold and have not gotten any visits or favorites in the last 30 days, give it a quick 10-second gut check. If you know in your gut that it was perhaps an early design when your skills were still brand new, it's just probably taking up space and likely won't sell. And that's okay. I myself have hundreds and hundreds of deactivated and even deleted listings that I know in my gut, when looking at them, weren't going to hold up against the competition. That's okay. Deactivate it, and if you have a really strong attachment to it, you can always come back later and give the listing a facelift. Remember, 10-second gut check here. Don't overthink it, don't dwell on it, and don't get offended if it hasn't sold. Move on and work with things that do. Also in this process, review your shop policies. Make sure you have them on. Make sure you have cancellation, returns, and exchanges set up the way that you want them to be. I personally have a cancellation window of 4 hours, and my posted policy is that I do not accept returns or exchanges. I started out accepting them when I first started, but honestly, it's a pain, and you will end up with random inventory lying around your house from returns that you've never turned around and sold. Occasionally, I still make exchanges on a limited case basis as long as it's not personalized, but more often than not, my posted policy deters many of them. And finally, with this self-audit, run your prices through a profit calculator. You don't want to wait until you have an influx of orders in Q4 to find out you're losing money on all of your sales. I have a profit calculator available in the resource vault for my membership, which also includes an income, expense, and profit tracker. Otherwise, you can certainly use the free ones built into platforms like Everbee or eRank, as well as others online like craftkit.app, which also allows you to factor in things like VAT if you sell internationally. And finally, number 5, incorporate some seasonal themed items specific to your niche or niches. This could be things like ornaments or themed apparel or group holiday party shirts if they fit. If you sell in the teacher niche, design some unique Christmas-themed mugs or a tote for a specific sub-niche in that category. If you sell in the wedding or anniversary niche, create some amazing ornaments that are unique keepsakes for ideal buyers in those niches. What I don't want you to do here is to start filling your shop with generic Christmas or Halloween designs. The bigger shops typically dominate in those, and it's much harder to rank for general Christmas and holiday themes, especially as a new seller. Always make designs with an ideal recipient in mind. Always think about your customer first. If you want to know what my top 5 niche themes are and how to scale them in a variety of ways, I'll link my video on that for you. If you're going to make season-specific items, make those sooner rather than later, and again, make them specific to your niche. Remember, seasonal items have a limited run, and shoppers are also looking for gifts. People are not buying Christmas-themed shirts for someone to open on Christmas Day. So don't feel like you need to go too wild on these holiday themes. You can absolutely focus on the evergreen side as well. If you're a newer shop, still trying to get traction, I recommend about an 80-20 ratio, meaning 80% of your listings are evergreen so that you can start to get some traction, and 20% have a seasonal element so that you've got some additional season-specific options. Remember, you want to be able to have continued sales beyond Q4, so do not put all of your eggs in the seasonal basket. If you have some more established niches that are performing well, adding seasonal themed items specifically for those niches can bring in an extra boost for the holidays, but I recommend keeping your seasonal listing volume to no more than 40% of your overall shop. If you're looking for more guidance heading into Q4, I've got a 30-page ultimate Q4 guide in the description that's intended to be a top to bottom resource for everything that will help you be successful going into this wonderful time of year. Or if you're part of my membership, it's already included. along with the additional resources and live group calls that I'm doing to support the group heading into Q4. I just recently also added resources like a handout on scalable phrases, as well as a worksheet with design prompts for those times when you inevitably hit a dry spell on creativity. Again, all of this and more are included as part of my membership, and I will link those details for you as well. And finally, I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of my dear members in my Simply Thrive Club who recently hit the 6-figure milestone. Barbara was one of my very first original founding members last year when she was still towards the beginning of her print-on-demand journey and just recently celebrated hitting the 100K revenue mark. Her journey has been like so many and might sound a lot like yours. It was filled with ups and downs, and I know there was plenty of times where she thought about stopping. But she did the one thing that's most important in entrepreneurship. She kept going. She trusted the process, she put in the right work, and it paid off. I am so freaking proud of her and just wanted to celebrate her huge achievement while also reminding you that success is completely possible. I hope this has been helpful for you. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on new Q4 videos coming up for this year on my channel. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.